going to talk about sex, but we have Matt Schlapp here first. And believe me, you don't want to talk about sex with Matt.
Let's talk about
I know, but he's got more other things to talk about, because last week CPAC proved once again that organizer Matt Schlapp, that's him, is not afraid to stir up controversy. And it seems even I made an on-screen appearance at this year's conference. How nice.
That's very good.
I just hope my hair looked good. Did he look good?
Fabulous.
All right, so please welcome the chairman of the American Conservative Union, Matt Schlapp. Hi, Matt.
Thank you.
I don't know. You guys have nothing better to talk about than me, really. Come on. But you guys have been, the CPAC has been attracting more extremist fringe elements of late, right?
I don't agree with that, of course.
Okay, you invited far-right French politician Marine Le Pen to speak. Her grandfather is that horrible Marie Le Pen, Jean-Marie Le Pen, who's a Holocaust denier.
A hateful guy who's disowned his own granddaughter because she has separated herself from his hateful politics, and we think that's a good thing.
That's not true. A year ago, she proclaimed herself the political heir of Jean-Marie Le Pen to the Washington Post.
She has the last name. She's not going to change that part of her family lineage, but in America, we judge the person on what they say, and we believe that her message of separating herself from some of these policies in France that I quite frankly completely disagree with. Did you watch her speech?
A little bit.
I thought it was a good speech. It's exactly the kind of message American conservatives like.
Okay, but you also have some other extremist people on there, white nationalists. I won't go into
I'm going to disagree,
names.
but go.
Well, I can start naming them, but they'd take forever. There's so many of them. The question is, does this fringe group represent your party now?
Look, it's a fair question, and I think we ought to just take it on. If someone is a hateful, racist person, we don't want them there. When Richard Spencer, who is a neo-Nazi, KKK,
got rid of him.
We kicked him out. I called our lawyers right over. Said, I know it's America, but we're paying all the bills in this hotel. Can we kick him out?
But you invited Milo also.
And disinvited him because some tapes came forward that were, quite honestly, on questions of equal opportunity in America. This is not a political discussion
Milo had been very hateful much before the tapes came out. The tapes made it undeniable, and the tapes were about pedophilia.
That's right.
Which was an entirely different thing.
Yep.
But he was hateful before you invited him. He was a hateful pedophile when you disinvited him.
He's not a pedophile. Let me be clear about that.
He had tapes
but look,
that
we did the right.
talked about pedophilia.
I feel like we did the right thing. When the information came forward, we disinvited him. We took a lot of heat. Nobody was happy with the situation. But I think we also have to acknowledge that things are awfully messy politically in our country these days. And what we try to do at CPAC is put the controversies on the stage and try to talk through them. Now, we have a conservative perspective, there's no question. I reject that it's fringe. I reject that it's racist or hateful. And when we do something that's wrong, call us out on it, okay? Because our goal is to get the left and the right to talk better with each other. That's why I'm here today. That's why I'm here.
But how do you put together the fact that Trump calls Mexicans rapists and says a lot of things nasty against immigrants with what you just said?
Let me interject on this, if you don't mind, because it's more than just that. So I know you, Matt. I know you have a lovely wife.
Yes.
My husband interviewed Ted Cruz at CPAC this year, and I thought they both did a wonderful job. I don't see CPAC in a vacuum, and I actually enjoyed a lot of the speeches that I watched online. I have a lot of friends that were there. I have to tell you, when President Trump called out my dad and led a crowd of booing, I was so upset. I was so hurt. I know it's about policy. I don't understand why Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski aren't also brought up if you want to talk about the Obamacare vote. I also don't understand despite, I'm aware my father's never even been invited to speak at CPAC. I know he's not a conservative darling, but why at this moment, when he's suffering from the worst brain cancer that exists and going through chemo, there can't be a modicum of respect for my family at this moment from CPAC.
A very good point.
And you defended it on Twitter, and I was disappointed. I know your wife well. You're good people.
Let him answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, your father is a national hero. He has served his country. He's fought for his life before, and he's fighting for his life now. And I think we all respect that. My conversations when I talk about your dad with what he's going through is just to keep him in our prayers. The fact is also, he has spoken at CPAC in the past. He spoke when he was the nominee of the party. He's spoken before that. He actually spoke at CPAC right after he was released from the his terrible imprisonment. So, you know, and Anna, you've spoken at CPAC. A lot of people have spoken at CPAC. If people have a disagreement with how I'm running the organization, ask the questions. I know that there are some tough questions to ask, and I'll answer them. But as far as your dad is concerned, I do think there is a disagreement on policy questions. And let's keep it to policy. He is a good man that follows his conscience.
I would have really loved for you to, and I would have applauded you had you said that on stage at CPAC. In front of the people that booed John McCain. As you said, a national hero who was, and that crowd was getting stirred up to boo him by a guy who dodged the draft 5 times, man.
Can I try to answer that question?
No, seriously, why didn't you get up on stage and do it in front of that people? Not this audience.
The way John McCain would have done it, he has.
I have.
Yeah.
I'll say it right to your face, Megan. I have a lot of respect for you, too, and for your family. I think it's okay in America to disagree with someone's votes in the Senate.
I do, too.
And, you know, I talked to your dad when he was up for re-election last time, and he told me he was going to lead the charge against Obamacare. For whatever reason, he followed his conscience.
Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, then?
We didn't invite them.
But why aren't they brought up in, if you're going to say, okay, like this Obamacare, but I'm well aware of how controversial it was.
Right.
And again, I'm well aware that my father is not a conservative darling, never has been, never will be. But I just don't understand
he was the deciding
vitriol.
He was the deciding vote.
I have a question because, you know, you seem very lovely. You're a Notre Dame grad like I am. You're a Catholic like I am. It's a good thing.
Right.
But I, frankly, was very disappointed in what I heard. Your CPAC spokesman, Ian Walters, made some racially charged comments about former RNC chairman Michael Steele, saying he only got the job because he was a black guy. Now, we know that he was the lieutenant governor of Maryland. He was the Republican Party state chairman for Maryland. He was the head of the grassroots organization GoPac. So he was very qualified. But still, you know, Michael took offense, and I know Michael as well, and he got into a heated exchange with you about it. Let's take a look at that.
It is stupid to sit there and say that we elected a black man chairman of the party and that was a mistake. But do you know how that sounds to the black community?
Yes, I know. And
do you know how that sounds to Americans?
I do.
And do you know how they then equate that level of stupidity to conservatism? That's the objection I have about the moment.
Don't take the worst out of what he said. You know him. I know, but this is where you need to have some grace. Look at what.
Wait a minute. What the hell do I have to be graceful for?
For?
What was not known at the time is that when Ian, who's with me here today, and is a dark-skinned conservative who has strong opinions about the Republican Party's failure to reach out to diverse populations in an effective way, he wants them to be better. He was called up to the stage in a spontaneous way, and if you read his article that he wrote in The Hill, he used the words that came to him at the moment. He doesn't give speeches, and he wishes he could have sat down and thought through the words he would have used.
Well, yeah, I did read that article.
He did call Michael and apologize immediately.
But I did read the article, and he stepped away from it and said, no, I'm talking about Michael being unsuccessful. I'm talking about the job that he did. Then why did he call him a black guy? And why did you think that Michael needed to be more graceful about it?
Because when someone, I just wanted people to know the full story, that Ian actually felt bad, because it was never about
why do you say that he should be graceful about it?
Because Ian called and asked him if he would accept his apology.
Did you take any action against the guy who called Michael Steele basically a token black?
I will not tell my dark-skinned colleague where I work that he's not allowed to have a point of view on these racial questions we have in society. Shutting people down is the wrong way to handle this. I respect him, and I let him talk.
By shutting down racism?
So you think that's the right way to handle it?
Absolutely.
Then why did you do that? Why did you do that?
Be a little bit more unequivocal when it comes to shutting down racism, to Sonny's point.
Why did you do that?
Because when
you're a Notre Dame Catholic. That's what we're called upon to do.
You're right. Father Hesburgh played a big role in all those things.
Yes,
He's a hero of mine.
Did.
And the question is this: when we see racism, we call it out. I believe Ian as someone who has his own experiences with his skin color, has the right to have a point of view. He has admitted that
he have the right to be racist?
No, talking about race is not racist.
All right,
that's our problem.
I'm going to have to cut this down. This was a tough room, I think, for you.
He has 5 daughters. I think he's used to it.
This is like my dinner table. You know, this is.